In this video, I'm going to show you how to say I love you in Italian. Saying I love you in Italian can actually be tricky. In fact, what we say depends on who we're saying it to. If you pick the wrong one, you will end up sounding weird or too detached. Teaching authentic Italian phrases is always my goal and the exact result I've been helping my students achieve. I'm Valentina 𝗟𝗃𝗲, native Italian tutor, top-rated tutor on the language learning platform 𝗟𝗃, where I've taught more than 3,900 lessons so far. And if you want to know how to correctly say I love you in Italian to your lover, friends, and the family, you will love this video. So keep watching. Okay, let's start with how to say I love you in Italian to your lover. That's ti amo. Ti amo. Now, this is a very specific expression, and you probably heard it before. Notice how we put the ti, which means you, before the verb. So in English you say, I love you. In Italian we say ti amo. Now, the most common mistake with this expression is that people tend to use only this one when they want to say I love you. For example, they will use ti amo to say I love you to their friends or family members. Don't do that. That in Italian sounds really, really weird. We only use this expression with the person we have a romantic relationship with. So do not use this with your mom, do not use ti amo with your best friend or anyone who's not your lover. So, what can we use for them? How can we say I love you to a family member or a friend? That in Italian is another expression, and that is ti voglio bene. Ti voglio bene. Now, this is a very interesting expression. We are literally saying I want good to you. So, ti amo is romantic and passionate. Ti voglio bene is all about the deepest form of love, of true affection. It's like you're saying, I want all that's good for you. So, remember, use ti voglio bene when you want to say I love you in Italian to your family, to a friend, or even to your pets. Actually, you can also use ti voglio bene with your lover. But it has a different meaning. It's a less passionate meaning, a deeper meaning. Ti amo is all about passion. Ti voglio bene is more about deep, everlasting affection. So keep that in mind. Okay, so those were the two most important expressions to say I love you in Italian. Keep in mind the difference so you will never end up sounding weird or too detached if you use one with the right person. But now let's focus on something that's often left out, which is how do you reply? How do you reply if someone tells you I love you in Italian and you want to say me too? Well, as you can now imagine, that depends on what they told you. So, if you want to say I love you too in Italian for ti amo, that's ti amo anch'io. Ti amo anch'io. Notice how we just repeat the expression ti amo and then we add anch'io, which means me too. Literally also I, but that's how we say me too in Italian, anch'io. So, ti amo anch'io. If instead you want to reply I love you too to someone who just told you ti voglio bene, that in Italian is ti voglio bene anch'io. Ti voglio bene anch'io. So as you can notice, it's the same as we did with ti amo, we just add anch'io, which means me too. Ti voglio bene anch'io. Now, let's have a look at 6 more ways to say I love you in Italian. If you want to say I love you so much, that is ti amo così tanto. Ti amo così tanto. Così means so, and tanto means much. So, ti amo così tanto is how we say I love you so much. If you want to say I love you very much in Italian, that is ti amo davvero tanto. Ti amo davvero tanto. Davvero means really, so it's not exactly what you say in English, but that's the same meaning. Ti amo davvero tanto. If you want to say I love you, my love in Italian, that is ti amo amore mio. Ti amo amore mio. Now, notice how we change the order. We do not say my love like you do in English, but we say love my. That's just different between Italian and English. It happens all the time. So just keep that in mind. Now, here's a little bit of a bonus. If you want, you can just say amore mio to someone you love, to the person you love, and that sounds really nice, cute, and romantic. So remember, ti amo, amore mio. Okay, if you want to say I love you more in Italian, that is io ti amo di più. Io ti amo di più. Now, first of all, notice how when you say more after a verb or at the end of a sentence, that in Italian is di più, 2 words, di più, more. And also, notice how we say io ti amo di più. Now, we don't do that very often in Italian. We usually leave the subject pronoun out of the sentence. We don't really need that. So why do we use it in this sentence? Well, because we want to emphasize, we want to highlight the fact that it's you who love the most. So it's io ti amo di più. It's just to give it more emphasis. Okay, now how do you say I love you I love you with all my heart in Italian? That is ti amo con tutto il cuore. Ti amo con tutto il cuore. Now, notice that we say con tutto il cuore, with all the heart. We don't say with all my heart. That's implicit. We don't use that. So it's just slightly different than in English. So remember, ti amo con tutto il cuore. Okay, and now I have one more expression for you. How do you say I love you to the moon and back in Italian? First of all, don't say this literally. Don't translate this literally, or you will end up saying something that doesn't make any sense, and people will just look at you like thinking, what are you talking about? What are you saying? So this cannot be translated literally. We have another expression that has the equivalent meaning, but with a different phrasing. And this expression I'm going to teach you, it's a little bit dramatic. So keep that in mind. The way we say I love you to the moon and back in Italian is ti amo da morire. Ti amo da morire. Now, ti amo da morire literally means I love you to die. I love you to die for. So I told you it was a little bit dramatic, but that's also part of being Italian, isn't it? So maybe use this with caution. There you have it. 10 ways to say I love you in Italian and sound correct and authentic. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below this video. And now I want to turn it over to you. What way of saying I love you in Italian are you going to use first? Are you going to say ti amo to your partner, or are you going to say ti voglio bene to your mom? Let me know by leaving a comment below right now. Ciao da Valentina!